What is up, guys? It's your boy Keep It Real MMA. I'm just wanting to make this video, and Masvidal might have weaseled his way into his third consecutive undeserved title shot. This is more like a serious video. I'm not angry about it, right? And this is why I'm not angry about it. The UFC has been such a shit show this year. It's been a very disastrous year in terms of most things. The only good thing about it is Adesanya losing his belt, and I'd say Adesanya losing his belt and Usman losing his belt. You know, two steroid cheats losing their belt, and just dickheads in general. So yeah, that was good to know. But other than that, 2022 has been a disastrous year for injuries, disastrous year for judging, and a disastrous year for most things. And this just adds to it, this news in this year going into next year, because obviously this would happen in March of 23. Apparently, Usman is injured. Apparently, he's injured his hand and he won't be ready by March. Now, they're thinking of putting together, I shit you not, Leon Edwards versus Masvidal for the belt in March. Now, what the UFC doesn't realize is, right, they don't need fights like that to sell out the O2 Arena. Because they've shown, right, that they can sell out. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. They could sell out an arena, right, with Aspinall and Curtis Blades as a main event. Aspinall and Volkov as an event. They can sell out those arenas quite easily. So you don't need a title fight in that card at all. As long as you have a decent undercard, like Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen would sell out that. Especially if you have a nice undercard underneath, a nice core main event. They'll sell out easy. So there's plenty of options for the UFC, yet they're trying to go with Leon and Masvidal. Now, they were booked the fight, but obviously Masvidal pulled out with injury and then went on to fight Covington, and then obviously got absolutely fucking dogged by my boy Colby. So then obviously he sucker punched like a fucking deadbeat dad that he is. So it went from that, and now he hasn't taken a fight since. And now that Leon's won the belt, all of a sudden now they're thinking of putting this fight together because Usman's injured. This makes no sense to me, because now you got a situation where if Masvidal gets this title shot, the UFC has proven now that they are rewarding losers. Because what has Masvidal done since he, lost his second undeserved title shot to... what has Masvidal done since beating Nate Diaz in 2019? He went on to take a short notice title fight against Usman, which he didn't deserve in the first place, and he got dominated. Then he got a rematch without winning a single fight, got knocked the fuck out. Then, the next year, in March, he then proceeds to fight Colby Covington, the number one contender at the time, and proceeds to get absolutely fucking dominated from start to finish. Then, he proceeds to just continuously talk shit on Twitter, talk shit online, and continuously talk shit, refused to sign a fight against Gilbert Burns, and now is probably going to get a title shot just because of his backstory with Leon. Because obviously, if you don't know, you're living under a rock, or maybe you're just new to MMA, and that's fine. For those who don't know, they have history of beef because after Masvidal beat Darren Till in the UK, in England, Leon was calling for the fight against Masvidal for a long time. Masvidal was doing an interview backstage, and Leon was in the backstage too, and Leon was quite a bit away from him, talking shit, saying, what month did he say? He said some month, and Masvidal said maybe not, but Leon kept talking shit. So Masvidal left the interview and he walked towards Leon, and he was saying, come say that shit to my face. And then as he got close to Leon, out of nowhere, he just fucking hit Leon with a quick three-piece. That's where the three-piece and the soda comes from. Quickly hit him with a three-piece, and then backed off. And then obviously Masvidal got escorted out. And ever since they've had beef, they were booked to fight quite a while ago. Masvidal pulled out with injury, and like I said, he then went on to fight Colby and got dogged. So no, so it makes sense storyline wise, but the reason it doesn't make sense is because he's the number 11th ranked guy that's lost 3 in a row, dominantly lost 3 in a row. One of them which he got knocked the fuck out, and he hasn't taken a fight since. And you're telling me that he deserves a title shot when there's people ahead of him that deserve it? You know what I'm saying? These are the potential people you could actually give a title shot to, that actually deserve a title shot in some sort of way, right? Hamzat, Bilal Muhammad. And the only reason I say Hamzat is because he's really the only one that, like, has beaten a guy in the top 10. And, yeah, like I said, they need 2 wins, but because the options are so limited, I'd say he can deserve it. But the main person that deserves it is Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad's on a really good win streak. He has wins over Sean Brady. He's beaten Wonder Boy. You know what I'm saying? He beat Damian Maia when he was in the top 15, I think. So he's beaten very good people. You know what I'm saying? He's beaten people that nobody really wants to take on. Nobody really wants to have the burden of fighting. And he took him on. You know what I'm saying? He fought Leon Edwards. I know, you know, the eye poke thing happened, but he took the fight against Edwards. You know, for Edwards coming back off of 2 years off at the time. So, you know, he's taken some hard fights. He beat Vicente Luque as well. So, you know, like, he hasn't taken no easy fights, man. And he's been winning. He's winning dominantly. I know his fights have been boring, but he's been winning dominantly. And, like, I talk all the shit about Bilal. But to be fair, I got to put some respect on his name, man, because he has been winning these fights that he's been given. And he's winning. You know what I mean? He's got, like, who's in the top 10 at the time that he's beaten? Wonder Boy. Luque. And Maia. So he's got 3 top 10 wins. So, or at least 3 ranked wins. So he deserves a title shot, in my opinion. And plus he's on like a 5-6 fight winning streak. Oh yeah, and Sean Brady. So, you know what I'm saying? So he deserves the title shot over anybody else. And I do not blame Bilal Muhammad if he's going absolutely nuts right now, which he probably is. Because it's not fair. Because now you're getting the number 11th ranked guy. Number 11th ranked guy, a title shot. After getting absolutely dominated in his last fight, got knocked out in the fight before that, and got absolutely dominated in the fight before that. His last win was Nate fucking Diaz. Nate Diaz. It's unbelievable to me how UFC are rewarding losers just for the sake of money and just for the sake of this. You know, I know it's a business and shit, but is it really a financial move? Is Masvidal really a draw anymore? I feel like he's lost all his hype. Is he really a draw anymore? I don't think he is. I personally don't think he's a draw. I don't think he is. I wouldn't, like, but the thing is, I think it can be a big fight sell because of the storyline between them, you know, the beef between them two and the storyline and the history of it. But also it could be a big sell because it probably will be a fun fight and it is a winnable matchup for Jorge. I'm still going to pick Leon if it does happen, but it's a very winnable fight for Jorge too. This is a very hard fight to predict. But because it would be 5 rounds, I would lean towards Leon. You know what I mean? Because think about this, right? Was it Jorge would be jumping over Shavkat, which he would never beat. Hamzat, which he'd never beat. Gilbert, which he has a very good chance against, but I still wouldn't pick him. Colby, who've already dominated him. Usman, who's already dominated him and knocked him the fuck out. Maybe he would beat Sean Brady, but I don't know. Maybe. After Brady's last performance, probably. I don't think he'd beat Wonder Boy in a rematch. I really don't think he would. I don't think he would. I don't think he'd beat Luque. He'd have a good chance, but I don't see him beating Luque. So these are fighters that he'd have to jump over that I don't see him beating, or maybe could beat, but I still don't see him beating. The best chance he has is, I'd say, is Brady and Leon, and maybe Gilbert, and that's it. Those are the best stylistic matchups, but I don't even think he wins them, maybe, except for Brady. I think he can beat Brady, but that's about it. Other than that, who does he beat? He doesn't beat anybody in that top 10. Do you know what I mean? 2 of those guys in the top 10 have already... 3 of those guys in the top 10 have already destroyed him. People forget about the Wonderboy fight. Wonderboy absolutely dogged him in that. Like, I know it wasn't like as if like he continuously destroyed him, but he was outboxing him, out kickboxing him, everything. He outdid everything on the feet. He destroyed Masvidal in that way. And I don't see him beating Wonderboy in a rematch, especially after that performance he put up against Kevin Holland on the feet. Unbelievable striking. He's the best pure kickboxer in the UFC and in UFC history. Simple as. I don't see Masvidal beating him. But Masvidal is too boxing oriented to beat the kickboxer like Wonderboy, in my opinion. But Wonderboy was calling for that fight. Wonderboy was calling for the fight. He said, why not rematch? And Masvidal won't take that fight. And I think the reason he won't take that fight is because they told Wonderboy probably that they're trying to do him versus Masvidal versus Leon. And that's probably what it is. Because apparently Wonderboy said something about this. It just doesn't make sense. Why would they make this fight? And I think they're going to make it because it'll sell. But this is the only fight I can see Masvidal selling. Because he's not a draw anymore. He knows he's not. This won't break pay-per-view record numbers. It'll break the numbers of this year. Because this year's pay-per-view numbers have been dreadful. But even his fight versus Colby didn't sell that much. So I don't even think Leon would sell that much. I don't think his fight with Leon would sell that much. Hopefully it just stays as rumours and it doesn't come to fruition, because if that's the case, I'd rather just Usman fight with one fucking hand. Because this is bullshit, bro. Because Usman and Leon will sell quite a bit because it's a trilogy, and, you know, obviously with that knockout in the last fight, so... But this is complete and utter bullshit, man. Complete and utter bullshit. Like, it's just some things should never happen, and if they decide to do something like this, man, that's just... It's unforgivable, but like I said, I'm not angry about it because it is a fun fight and I will watch it, of course. It's my job, but but it's a fun fight and I would tune in and I would be excited to see it. But at the same time, I'd be thinking in the back of my head, why is the UFC rewarding losers, man? Everybody gets a participation trophy in the UFC, it seems like. Especially in the welterweight division, you get people who are too scared to fight each other and they get rewarded for it. But then when you get somebody like Belal Muhammad, who's not afraid to take on anybody, who's continuously called out Hamzat, who were going to make a fight against Hamzat with, but they decided to go with Nate Diaz for the sake of pay-per-view numbers. Obviously, that fight fell through because Hamzat missed weight. So, you got all these things where it's like, all these things in place, but then when, like I said, with Belal Muhammad, somebody who continuously proved that he will fight anybody you put in front of him in the rankings, you don't reward him with a title shot, even though he's on the biggest win streak out of everybody, really. You know, except for Leon, obviously. So, but who is the champion? So, and you know what I mean? They don't reward anybody. Look at Leon, for example, before he became champion, man. All those fights that he won in a row. And I get it, right? Not all of them are in the rankings, but he did beat #1 contender at the time, which was Rafael dos Anjos. And the fact that he can't even be put anywhere near that, like, and it took him that long to get a title shot. And don't get me wrong, he brought a lot of the bad shit on himself, and he was too inactive, and he did do a lot of shit wrong. But it's crazy how they're not going to reward Belal Muhammad with a title shot, but are going to reward Masvidal on a 3-fight losing streak. And not just any 3-fight losing streak. He got dominated, and knocked the fuck out. It's crazy to me. It's actually the equivalent of like Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora, if you know what I mean. It's like, it's just stupid. It makes no sense. It's just for the sake of money, for the sake of just a quick paycheck, really. It's stupid to me. I don't understand it. I mean, that's just my opinion on it, but, you know, I don't think anybody agrees with it, to be honest with you, but I hope it just stays a rumor, man. Like I said, man, it's one of those things where it's like, if I was Belal Muhammad, I'd be punching the air right now. It's the same with, like, Beneil Dariush, really, because he deserves a title shot, yet he's been given nothing. I mean, they're going to do Volk versus Islam, which is fair enough, I guess, but Islam just won the belt. He only just won the belt off an undeserved title shot, but he won fair and square. And give him #2 pound for pound ranking and then give him the Volk fight. Makes no sense to me. It should have been Beneil Dariush for the title shot, but, you know, it is what it is, man. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please like and subscribe. I see all you new guys subscribing and commenting. Continue to do so. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Keep It Real MMA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.